And we are rolling. So I've told you nothing about this.
You've told me absolutely nothing about this, yes.
I've given you no warning whatsoever.
No warning at all.
This is the first time you're going to hear what I'm going to ask you to do.
I'm scared, to be honest. Nervous and everything else, yeah. I don't really know what this is about.
I want to know where song comes from. And I want to see a song being made. And I would like you to write a song right now.
You gotta be kidding me. But songs are you know, they're very mysterious things. It's hard to just sit down and sometimes write a song, like on the spot. You kind of have to feel it and know when the muse hits you and write it then.
So you can't force the muse?
You want me to write a song right now about something? Yeah. What do you want me to write it about? Ready to grab it? Give me a pencil. Okay. Write a song about fireflies. Interesting.
I think it's a very vulnerable thing to be filmed while you're trying to create, because to me, being self-conscious is the antithesis of creativity. You're at your most creative when you are completely not self-conscious. Like if you ever watch kids, young kids especially, they just play and they talk to their, imaginary companions, and they completely have an absence of self-consciousness, and it's beautiful. And that's where creativity and play thrives. And the moment that you start thinking about what you're doing, or wondering if it's any good, or wondering who's listening, that kind of immediately kills the creative impulse.
Anytime you're with someone or in front of somebody, in some way you kind of edit yourself and critique yourself or stop yourself to be presentable in a form that you think others will accept more, versus when you're by yourself, halfway through a bottle of wine in the middle of the night, you just kind of just spitting out whatever.
So what's the first part of the process here?
Well, it always depends. So for this, immediately I'm going to think about all the different things that fireflies do. Fireflies. Fireflies. I remember in Rhode Island, because in Rhode Island in the summertime, way back, when my grandparents used to have a house there, we'd go there all the time, and the fireflies would always hang out at night, and we'd try to catch them. So to me, fireflies personally means like friendship and just hanging out and catching fireflies and kind of hanging out. Reminds me of community. But for this anyway, firefly.
Firefly? Well, I mean, sometimes when you have a certain word or a phrase, things you kind of change where you go with it. But where I would start, I don't know. If I think firefly, think of the word lightning bug, because that's what you call them in the South, fireflies. And I'd probably start writing about when I was a kid, being in the South, maybe something about my dad, something about, as you get older, time going by, and, fireflies, they don't live too long. I remember catching them in a jar, and then you have little jar bugs, and then you wake up and they're all dead lying at the bottom the next day. So that might make it take a morbid turn in my, in my mind, but it would, go somewhere from there.
I don't know. I mean, you could use it as a launching point either lyrically or metaphorically or musically. You might want to simulate what a firefly might, you might want to try to evoke the image of a firefly through musical terms, through words, or hopefully, you know, some combination if it's a song.
My process, usually the process begins, I won't tip the labels out, but you need whiskey or wine or beer or any kind of thing like that. And you're alone and you made a mistake. You got to make mistakes. Mistakes is very key to songwriting. Getting in trouble and screwing things up, that's pretty much what all my songs are about.
The conception of a song is, again, for me, there's no pattern or formula, which is what makes it pretty frightening, because even though I've written songs, I never feel like I know exactly how to do it, or that I'll ever be able to write another one that's any good. So it's that aspect of it is kind of unnerving. So it's how does it start? You know, it can start with, as I said, it can start with an idea of a phrase. It can start with just goofing around on the guitar and coming up with some kind of pattern that is appealing or fun to play, and then you can, you know, it starts with improvisation. Really, is how it starts. I think like almost any writing of any kind starts, and then you say, hey, I liked that one little moment out of 60 minutes of improvising or whatever, and then so you capture that somehow and you use that as a launching point. But there's no, you know, there's no rules.
Fireflies. Okay. So do I have to write lyrics too for this? Is this what you want? You want the whole process?
How long have you been doing songwriting, and what is it that you love about it?
I've been writing songs since I've been about 9 years old. And I used to make up songs in my head and sing them all the time. What I love about songwriting is it is my home. It's where I belong. I live in my songs. I don't know about other songwriters, but that's my world. I write these songs so I can survive here, so I can live here in the real world. If I didn't have my songs, I don't think I could live in the real world. Firefly. So try to figure out chords that actually make, you know, where does Firefly, how does that sound? What is that like? What's the tone of Firefly? What is the, you know, and try to come up with some chords that fit that theme. You know, I mean, yeah, no, you could do that. You could. Yesterday I woke up, I thought about you day, back when the days are bright and the skies are dark, when you flash before my eyes. Living like a firefly. I don't know. I mean, it's a lame riff. You know what I mean? Like you come up with kind of a chord progression, and then you fit the words in. For me, I always go up with the chord progression, the words, and then try to figure out a good, catchy melody. Because that's all I do is try to write melodies, good melodies. I would never say that I'm a good guitar player. I write melodies. But you know, and stepping back into a day I'd never know, when everything was so dark. I was confused and the world was at my feet, and all I could see was this blank and empty street. See it in your eyes, a place that I've been. I don't know, I've been twice that way. And then I would say no to that.
You know, what makes a song good or bad is, you know, nobody goes out trying to write a bad song. At least not, you know, not usually. You want everything you write to be, you know, timeless. So what makes it good? You know, again, there's a lot of mystery to it. Sometimes I've heard a lot of stories about like the most famous songs you've ever heard and the most well-known and loved songs happened almost like they just spilled out of the songwriter, like, you know, and then the ones that they've labored over, maybe not so much. But of course there's exceptions to that, and the opposite is true too. Sometimes you really have to labor over something before it's great.
I think what makes a good song is honesty. I think that's what makes a good song. If you're completely honest with what you're writing, and you're not hiding anything, and you're bearing your soul, like bearing it.
What makes a good song for me, like a great song that I love, is because I hear myself when they're singing. Whatever they're singing, whatever they're playing, I hear it. I'm like, that's me, that's my life, you know? To me, what I want to do with my songs, the best songs, I think, remind you of things you never knew you knew.
I mean, I've heard it said that from a lot of songwriters that the first 100 songs they wrote were total crap. And sometimes you have to write a lot of bad songs before you can write a good one.
You have to go through the journey. You have to fight. You can't just have your words. You have to go somewhere. Every verse has to go somewhere else. Each verse is taking that character to a new place. You, the character, whatever it is, but you're going, the chorus is great, and then you've got another verse, but then where are you now? And that could be in the future. You could be you in the future, that's fine. As long as you're progressing, you know, and you're showing change. It's the hero's journey. You start out one way, and you go through your conflicts and your trials and tribulations and your tension, and then you always have a resolution.
I mean, there can be many things that make a song bad. It depends what aspect you're talking of. I mean, just in general, being untruthful, people writing stuff because they think people want to hear it instead of writing what is their reality.
I think that honesty is going to help make your song good. You know, I think that something that is sincere and that people can believe and, you know, relate to, or yeah, honesty is pretty important. One friend of mine said that, you know, as a songwriter, you know, you're not risking your life the way a firefighter is, or, you know, a police officer or whatnot. So the least you can do is have the courage to be honest and be brave in what you're writing. Be courageous in a truthful, honest way.
That's hard to explain, though. That's what you're trying to attack here. You're trying to explain like this thing that is very mysterious, how people write songs.
You want to get into that state, that playful state where you're not self-conscious and you just let things come out of you, and anything and everything is potential material, which is that's a good thing. It's like, you know, there's an endless supply. You can write a song about anything, as I think that's the whole point. We're putting out a suggestion to Deron, and he was creating a song on the spot.
Sometimes I'll be writing a song, and I'll just kind of, you know, I don't know where I'm going, and so I'll just be kind of singing just kind of mumbles, but within those mumbles and the melody, there's a certain pattern and a certain phrasing and a certain vowels that come out that you kind of want to hit, because there's like a certain flow there. And so sometimes you have that, and you kind of craft the right words you want around that, and sometimes that's a little hard, but.
So part of the singing process is making up a whole bunch of words for me, and then being able to kind of I totally make up words that don't make any sense at all. That's what I do. Absolute words, just absolute gobbledygook, you know? And I'll just, if they don't fit, so I'll come up with something like, let's do something like, so that's kind of cool. It's like a flying. Woke up feeling strange, like a stranger in the night of the day. And I wonder why I couldn't just fly away, fly away. And again, like anyone that's watching this right now, you're gonna say how cheesy that is and how crazy that is, and it's totally cliche. And why would you ever want to say fly away to Firefly? I mean, but it's the cliche stuff that gets you to the good stuff. And you might find some good words in there. So here, this is what I'll do. Why don't we write a kid song? Make it simple. So.
I've seen you have 2 or 3 ideas.
What's that?
You started off in one place, and then you switched to different chords, and you went to a different place, and then the song tone changed from sort of a carefree, summery kind of thing to sort of a darker
haunting
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now it's moved into sort of a kid's song kind of thing. Is this the normal progression? I mean, do songs change tones like that?
Do songs change tones?
As they go, does it start one place and then go someplace
When you're
else?
writing a song? That's what you're asking?
Yes.
When you're writing a song. Do songs change tones? Yes, all the time for me. Yes. But I'm doing this because I feel like I'm obligated to write a song about fireflies, and I think that would be the best way I can relate to that is writing a kid's song. Because I don't know much about fireflies, so I'm thinking, well, heck, I can be pretty vague and still probably get a catchy melody and write it in kid song style. But if it was something that it was important to me, fireflies to me aren't that important to me, so it's something that's important to me. Yeah, you really stay on those chords, and you really try to get a good feeling and tone, and I'm almost having problems because the Firefly feels kind of cliche. So and you have to fight that, because your job as a songwriter is to make things not cliche, that sound cliche. Even saying this, I feel sounds cliche. Yeah, but songs do change tones. They change tones all the time. I think it's the job of a songwriter to figure out what he's trying to say and say it in that best way. So sure, you start out summery and you're feeling like that's cool. That's like a part of a firefly. It's like flying and summery and it's happy, and you know, maybe the firefly was that fling you had in the summertime, you know, and you're just jumping back there, and that's what it was. It was a firefly. Fireflies also go out, you know, they're dark and they light up, and then they only, you know, they're out at night, so they're like a flash in the dark. They're a flash in the pan. So that could be a symbol or metaphor for life, in a way. Or You know, Firefly could be a nickname that you had for me, like a girl that I met, you know, and that's like a nickname, and that's what that means to me is, you know, gosh, I just wish I could go back to the days when Firefly and I would hang out. You know, who would hang out with a girl named Firefly, but I think it's pretty cool. You know, when she's on, she's on. Yesterday, I remember your name. Just yesterday, and it seems so far away. All those times that we had in a simple place. Of my life, changing all those things, memories, the puzzles that we put across the table, but we were never able to see eye to eye. But you were my firefly, you were my only one in the sky, you were my when everything was great. You were my firefly, you were the one in that sky, and I don't know, but I remember all the times. That happens all the time. So then you're trying to figure out a chord change, then you're like, no, that wouldn't work, and then you're like, so you'd be like, but that doesn't work either, you know, maybe B minor. But I remember the day, no, so if you go, but I remember the day, or A. But I remember the days when you know me why, and you made me see that you and I, so that's the dark part, so it's like, and I remember the days when I looked the other way, and when you were only there. But now that you're gone, yeah, I try. Nope. It's like, but now that you're gone, well, I always try to move on and far away from here. And I don't know if I like that chord change, but you get the point. And then you go, you were my firefly, the one here, the midnight sky, now you're gone. There's nothing left to say. You're my firefly, the one in the midnight sky, now you're gone. See what I mean by like making up stuff? I don't even know what I'm singing. You know, I just come up with, the words come last, you know, the words come last. So that's what I do, making up that song. How do I feel about Firefly? I'll tell you, Tom, Firefly's been a real pain in my ass, to be honest. I've gone a different place with Firefly. I didn't work on it for a while. You know what's really funny? Is the day that I started working on Firefly again, and I changed it because I turned it from a love story into kind of more of a psychological thriller, if you will. No, more of a kind of a mind wander. What is Firefly? It became more of a psychological thing between me and the Firefly, and what does that mean, rather than like the love story between two. You know, me and necessarily a girl, or a love story of my past. Like it became I don't know, it's interesting. Firefly took on some different connotations. With that being said, I totally changed the chorus. And yes, camera people that are watching me, Tom definitely likes the first version of the song that I wrote. I didn't. Power to the songwriter. So the other one I was doing before, cool. What I liked about it was you could feel the firefly, but that was more lovey-dovey. And recently, like, I didn't want to move Firefly into a dark place, but I kind of want to make it more haunting and more imagery focused. And I really like this image. Like, I got this image of this guy, right? And he's on this boat and he's sailing through this city. It's really weird. There's like water below him. And he's slowly seeing as he passes like these images of what's happened to him and moving on. And obviously that guy's me in this context. But he's got this fishing pole, right? And he keeps casting and trying to catch something, and he can't do it. And he dips his hand into the water to try to just to hold on to that moment, or that fleeting, that one piece that's within all of us that makes us really happy and successful, and we feel really good. Like, he's always trying to get that. They can't get it. And then there's around him, there's just people watching him as he passes, and I don't know who those people are yet. And then I see like stoplights. Like, for some reason I see lights, and there's all sorts of imagery with that. So what's cool about this song, like just the name itself, is Firefly really lends itself to a lot of different ways you can take it. I'm drifting down this narrow coastline, and seconds pass and I feel fine, and the buildings to my right are liquid facing time. And just as I'm about to leave, I hear your voice in the leaves, and damn if I can't say I'm stuck inside your sound. And the traffic lights I see, red and yellow in front of me. Why do I feel like I've yielded between the lines? And the people wave and say it's just gonna be another day. And why don't you just walk along between the skyline? 'Cause you're my firefly. That one moment in time when I felt fine, and I never crossed the line. And you're my firefly. That one second in time that passed me by. Oh, why can't I find just one firefly?
Songs are, again, they're kind of living things. They kind of go on and have lives of their own, and they're not. They're fluid. They're subject to change.
Oh yeah, it changes a lot. I have a song called "Shiny Shiny Lights," and that one's changed when I first wrote it, and then I kept rewriting, and then I started. Usually I'll keep narrowing it down until I get a kind of a finished format, then start performing it. But even that one just kept changing, and just
You can think you're starting a song, as I did. I thought I was starting a song. I came up with this. I remember this again was in college. I came up with something like this. Well, I lived through an actor's presidency, though it's hard to believe. And I did so without much difficulty, 'cause I was young and naive. Now I'm a little bit older and a little more paranoid. I question all that I'm told, sir, to make sure my ideals aren't totally destroyed. And that's all I had. And I didn't think much of it, so I just didn't do anything with it. And then a year later or so, I was flipping back in my notebook and I saw the lyrics, and I thought, well, that was kind of a really lame piece of music, but I liked the first line, which was, I lived through an actor's presidency. And so I then just took that one line, the rest of it just went, threw away, and formed a song around, starting with that line. The song itself didn't start with that line, but I incorporated it into an entirely different song.
This song, I started out because I saw the wonderful invention of Facebook, which is just, so fucking fantastic. Which is great, because you can stay in touch with your friends and your family and yada yada, and you also get updates of your ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend, get little pictures sent to you in your little fucking feed thing. And so this song, I started writing about that, and I started doing it almost like a joke, kind of like a country song. Tell me who is in that picture with you. Tell me who is in that picture with you. And it's something like that, and just kind of in it. How did it go? Dun, 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 something. It was just kind of like I started playing it like as a loose country song kind of thing, just for the fun of it. And then I started really singing it and writing it, and it turned into turned into a blues number. And this is the way that we started playing it.
How did you feel after I recorded you that first time? About me, about what we'd done, about the whole thing?
I hated it. I hated every fucking moment of that. I had no idea, guys, that Tom was gonna say that stuff to me. I thought that he was gonna talk to me about this other thing I run called the Independent Scene. I thought that was gonna be kind of cool. But as usual, he tricked me and pissed me off. So how did I feel about that moment? I was just completely turned away. There was a lot of seconds where I was like, I kind of just wanted to get up out of that chair and just be like, dude, seriously, I'm not that type of guy. Like, I know we live in LA, I know it's about vanity, and we all want to tell each other secrets, and we all want to be in front of the camera. But I don't. Not when it comes to my process. I don't. But then I thought maybe there is some stuff I know, and maybe there's some stuff I can actually share. And hell, I'd kind of like to see myself in the process of what I do, because I've never really seen myself in the process. I'm sure it's absolutely insane. I probably look absolutely nuts. Because really when I'm writing a song, I do have like ADD. I'll just be like, no, but if I just do, it's like a ping pong match between my left brain and my right brain. And somehow we settle in the middle.
Do you want to see that initial part, the initial burst of creativity?
No. Yeah, actually, I do want to see that thing. I'm shaking in my boots. But yeah. That does mean we're gonna have to sit down on my couch though, which has got ants all over it.
We don't have to sit on the couch.
Okay, so I'm now watching me write a song. Jesus. So I'll try to figure out chords that actually make, where does Firefly, how does that sound? What is that like? What's the tone of Firefly? I sound so smart. And try to come up with some chords. Those are shitty chords. fit that theme.
Not B minor.
You know, I mean,
What is that chord?
yeah, no, you could do that.
No. There you go. That's pretty good.
Yesterday I woke up, I thought about you there, back when the days are bright and the skies are dark, when you flashed before my eyes. Living like a firefly.
I like how I played the space there. It is kind of cool.
It's a lame riff.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like you come up with kind of a chord progression, and then
It's not a lame riff. It's actually a smart
words,
riff.
For me, I always go up on
It's a catchy riff.
chord
I've just
progression,
used it before, so I got bored.
words, and then try to
But
figure out
I like how I played with the space there.
that's all I do.
That the waiting and then the firefly, that was kind of cool. I like that.
Stepping back into a day I never known, when everything was so
It's kind of a cool melody though.
dark. I was confused in the world.
I gotta give myself
at my
credit.
feet.
This is on the spot, people.
And all I could see was this blank and empty street. See it in your eyes, a place that I've been. I don't know how to twice about where I have been. Stepping into it, you know, and then I would say no to that. I totally make up words that don't make any sense at all. That's what I do. Absolute words, just absolute gobbledygook, you know?
Giving away my secrets.
They don't fit, so I'll come up with something like, let's do something like, so that's kind of cool. It's like a flying.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. Because that's, you get more of the
Woke up
flying.
feeling strange, like a stranger.
Yeah, it's.
In the night of the day.
I like the night of the day, like playing with that theme. That's
And I
cool.
wonder why I couldn't just fly away. And again, like anyone that's watching this right now, you're gonna say how cheesy that is and how crazy that is, and it's totally cliche. And why would you ever want to say "fly away to Firefly"? I mean, but it's
Yeah, but I gotta,
stuff.
you know, I'm being hard on myself. Sorry, but that's.
And you might find some good words in there.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
So.
Sure, yeah. Everything you write at first is going to be totally cliche and boring and just terrible. But there's little pieces of it that you might be able to take and and work with, and that's what's happening here.
Fireflies also go out. They're dark and they light up, and then they only they're out at night, so they're like a flash.
It's weird to watch yourself.
That could be a symbol or metaphor
Scary.
for life.
I don't like it.
All right. So how was that watching yourself?
It was better than what I thought. It was cool. It was pretty cool. There's some ideas I got now for that too, with the song. So it was interesting. It's really interesting to see, because I didn't have, guys, this thing that Tom's doing. I didn't watch it till I haven't seen anything. I don't even remember the song I wrote. I got some coffee this morning. I was like, I gotta finish that damn thing.
So I sat down and it's just totally different. You know, like I said before, I worked on a little bit before this too, but it's just a totally different song. It's like I went from some love story to being more haunting and more dark on a boat in a city. You were my one when everything was great. Yeah, I mean that's a nice chorus. It's you kind of feel it. It's sad, man. But this is totally about him and her. This isn't like a psychological turmoil, which is what I was just saying for you guys. I thought the chorus, because you're my firefly, that one moment in time when we used to fly in the midnight sky. I like that. That's a cool line. I like Midnight Sky. That's a totally different song. I don't know what I'm doing right now. It's totally retarded. What am I doing? No, it's not. And I remember the days when I looked the other way. I don't like that at all. Only there. But now that you're gone, I want to sit down with myself, but seriously? Really? You're gonna do those chords? Where's the haunting element? That's just like a... And I don't know if I like that chord change. I don't know. It's a bad chord change. I feel like a schizophrenic right now. I'm like talking to myself and into this guy. There's nothing left to say. You're my firefly. This is cool though. I like this chord. It flies well. It feels more Firefly-y. I don't know what else. Different day. So again, you guys should see though, I don't know the words. I'm just coming up with them. No, I don't like that chord change. Yeah. I'm very familiar. This is cool though. I'm familiar exactly with what I'm doing, and this is how I write. This is kind of cool. This is what I do. I'll be doing this. Yeah, just in the middle of the song. Just keep doing it.
I mean, you can do G, it's unpredictable.
Yeah, fine. But I wouldn't be talking to you in the camera, I'd just be like... Just and you told me that I'd be... Yeah, and you just try out all sorts of different stuff.
If I could just change your mind.
I like that. That's kind of... That's cool. No, go back. Don't know what to do. No, go back. That's more poppy. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's more poppy. It's crazy. Okay, that's kind of cool. No, it's not. That's Hannah Montana. We don't write Hannah Montana. I will though. Disney, I'm here for you. I think that's what was cool about watching that. I really like all those ideas. I thought they were actually really well done. Some of those ideas. And I don't know. It's funny how hard on yourself you are in the moment. You look back on it, you're just like, damn, you know, those are actually pretty good ideas. Shut up and work on them some more. I still think I was a little self-conscious in the camera.
So how do you know when a song's finished?
I don't know if songs are finished.
The story's done. The story's over. You've said everything you need to say.
You know, I think a song is never necessarily finished. You just decide to stop working on it.
So what changes do you think you might make based on, you know, what you saw?
I'm gonna work on a bridge that's kind of cool, and that there was a cool part in that song, and it was the beginning too. There's another part at the beginning where I played, and then I said, "You're my firefly," and I really like the timelessness of that, like that piece where I'm not saying anything, and we just sit. And I really like that, the way that was captured. Space is what I'm trying to say. There's some real special things that happen in space there. So I'm gonna go back and give my song some more space. And I'm gonna give it a nice bridge, a better bridge. And I might jump out of the song a little bit and give it something new and interesting. But I guarantee you guys it will be entertaining when we do this live.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to 77 Lounge, Mr. Deron Wade.
Wow, thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Matthew. Give Matthew a round of applause for having us here tonight. Awesome. So, yeah, you guys are all here for this song. Are you excited? I'm excited too. This has been a 2-year endeavor for me and for my buddy Tom. I remember at the beginning, he basically just put me in front of a camera and said, all right, man, here's the topic, write a song. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? So he just put me right on the spot, and the topic was Firefly. Honestly, it's kind of been, it's been both a love and also like, oh my God, really? Do I have to write this song again? Like Firefly is, it's almost burned me, like this, what you're gonna hear in the song here. Without further ado, Firefly. Here we are, a moment in the sun, and there you stand, I'm bleeding for you. And here we go, 2 hearts now just one, and I can't wait for, 'cause I'm burning for you. Burning bridges, and we're losing our fucking minds, and we're going crazy, and here we go, chasing after a rainbow, and we slip, but we still get a hold, and there you are, and fire's raging in our hearts, but we know that we're losing control. We're burning bridges, we're losing our fucking minds, we're going crazy, 'cause you're my firefly, and you're burning inside me. You're my firefly, and you're burning me now. You're my firefly, and you're burning inside me. You're my firefly, and you're burning me now. So here we are. Day by day we cross the line and we wait for things to change, but we know it's just not what it was before, so we look for things to burn. We're burning bridges, we're losing our fucking minds, we're going crazy, 'cause you're my firefly, and you're burning inside me. You're my firefly, and you're burning me now. You're my firefly, and you're burning inside me. You're my firefly, and you're burning me now. You're burning me now. I burn inside of you. You burn inside of me. I burn inside of you. You burn inside of me. I burn inside of you. You burn inside of me. I burn inside of you. You burn inside of me. You're mine. Firefly.
It's funny how hard on yourself you are in the moment. You look back on it, you're just like, damn, you know? Those are actually pretty good ideas. Shut up and work on them some more.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me today and doing the song Firefly for all you guys. Thank you.